Hi, I'm Lynn. Welcome to Cooking with Lynn. I'm in my kitchen cooking for the Cumberland Library again. And today I'm making zucchini lasagna roll-ups. So it's not actually lasagna in terms of there's no lasagna noodles, but the noodles are the zucchini. So it's another sort of low carb, keto if you want to say, Atkins, South Beach, whatever. It's not vegan. It does have dairy in it, cheese obviously. But it's low carb, so, and it's good. And if you're not worried about low carb, it's something you can serve with pasta or whatever you want on the side. It makes a meal all by itself, but you can certainly add something to it, a salad or whatever. Anyway, I kind of went back and forth about whether I should show you how I make my pasta sauce, marinara, whatever you want to call it. But I decided to do it because there's not a whole lot of assembly to the rest of the dish, so I figured let's start with the pasta sauce and then we'll move on to the zucchini and I'll show you how to put it all together. Alright, so I'm going to make my sauce. This is my version of whatever you want to call it, pasta sauce, marinara, spaghetti sauce. This is my version. It may not be authentically Italian, so don't yell at me, but this is how I do it. And I've been doing it like this for a really long time. It's something that I make variations of it because I like to throw vegetables in my pasta sauce and just to make it a little healthier, and it's a good way if you have kids, kind of hide some veggies in there. So it depends what I have and what I feel like throwing in there to kind of add some veggies to it and to kind of make it a little bit more substantial. If you're making marinara just like pizza sauce or whatever, if I was doing that, I would leave out all the extra stuff. Not the basics, the onions and the garlic, but some of the extra stuff, like meat. I'm going to put meat in it. Ground turkey, surprise, surprise. I use a lot of ground turkey in my cooking. It's healthy and it's light and I like it. Alright, so I put some olive oil in the pan, and I think you can see the pan, yep. And I'm just going to throw an onion in. That didn't get cut. I just diced up a kind of large, medium-ish onion. Get that down in there. And I like some red pepper. Throw that in there. Sometimes I throw carrots. Carrots take kind of a long time to cook down, so I don't always throw those in there, but they add a nice little bit of sweetness if you're interested in that sort of thing. And sometimes I throw spinach. I don't throw just any vegetable in there, but I throw spinach sometimes, kale, just to add some extra vitamins and make it a little healthier. So I'm just going to move that around, saute, whatever, sweat, throw some salt in there. This makes a big pot. I can't get myself out of the habit of making giant pots of things. I cooked for a family of 5, and now it's just me and my husband, but I still make a ton, but leftovers are good. Throw some pepper in there and get that sweating. So this is another one of those dishes that you could do lots of things with. Obviously use lasagna noodles if you want. You can make noodles out of other vegetables, maybe, I don't know, sweet potatoes probably, but I'm using zucchini, and I made something with zucchini before, and I kind of said I'm not that crazy about zucchini, but on its own, but I like it when it's spiralized, and I like it in this case because it's got a lot of cheese and it's yummy. But you can kind of make it your own a little bit. Play around with it. You can use lasagna noodles and use the same method. So you can also probably explain this a little more when I get to that part when I do the zucchini, but you can just make it like regular lasagna and just lay the zucchini noodles out. Not really noodles, they're flat. Anyway, or you can roll them up. I just find when I'm making lasagna or I'm making this, that when you roll them up and have them in the pan like that, it's more like an individual serving. It's easier to serve. When you cut lasagna, you get that big mess and it flops all over the place. So this is a little bit neater, a little easier to serve. my opinion. It's so yummy though, it really, really is. So those are sweating down good. I think you can see in the pan there. I'm going to toss in my meat. Wet ground turkey, about a pound. Ooh, I just scared the cat. Sorry. My neighbors were cutting trees down a little while ago and I was like, oh my God, it's so loud. But luckily they stopped, so good timing there. Let's break that up. And obviously don't put meat if you don't want to, or put ground beef or sausage, whatever. Any kind of sausage. Doesn't have to be turkey sausage. Get it browned up. I didn't throw my garlic in right away because garlic will get bitter and burn if you leave it in there too long, so I left that out. And let's see, I'm going to put a little more salt. I spared you the watching me cut vegetables part, but I kind of wanted to, to show you how I make my sauce. And it's this kind of thing where leave out whatever you don't like, put in whatever you do like, make it your own. I like things that I can adapt, and sometimes it's really just about what do I have in my fridge, what can I throw in here, how much time do I have, and then I'm gonna have a ton left over. It's not a bad thing. Plenty of things I can do with that. Hubby loves pasta, so I can have pasta. Sometimes I like to take some nice, like a crusty Italian bread and grill it or toast it and put olive oil, rub it with a little bit of garlic and throw the sauce on top of it, throw an egg on that. I love that. That's a slightly different kind of meal, but I love it. And always trying to add protein. That's why I like to throw meat in my sauce. I like the extra protein and I like it to be hearty. I'm a hungry girl and I like a nice hearty sauce. Alright, so I'm going to throw my garlic in now. It's about 2 cloves. If you like more garlic, go right ahead. Add some more. Okay, I'm going to turn that down because that's screaming hot. And I'm going to throw some tomato paste in there. It's so funny when my mom used to make spaghetti sauce. So I'm not measuring this. I'm going like 3-ish tablespoons. I'll have the recipe up when this gets posted, which if you're watching it, that means it's posted and the recipe's there. Alright, I'm going to get that moving around. Alrighty. So I started to tell a story. My mom, it seemed like it took her all day, but she used to grind her own meat, and it was like an all day, it seemed like an all day thing. It probably wasn't. I was a kid, I don't know, but it just felt like it took her forever. Alright, what am I getting in here now? Alright, I want to throw my herbs in next because I want to get them blooming and get the oils out there and get it fragrant and flavorful. This is just an Italian mix, Italian herbs, and I put 3-ish tablespoons. Put more, put less. Put just oregano, put basil. This has, all that in there. Assuming what's in there. Oregano, basil, marjoram, thyme, and cracked rosemary. Alright. Again, a little plug for Penzi Spices. Love them. They're not sponsoring me. Okay, that's ready to get our tomatoes. So I got 2 of these, kitchen ready, and there's no salt. I like to control the salt myself. Get that in there. All right, it's going to be more than enough for our dish, and then some leftovers for something else. So I'm going to let that go, and I'll check it for seasoning, check it for salt and pepper, and I am going to throw one thing in here that's possibly a little controversial to all you Italians, so look away. I am going to throw some sugar in there to counterbalance all the acid of the tomatoes. I also don't measure, but I'm going to say 1, 2, 3 tablespoons. I might throw more in later. I like it a little sweet. I don't know. My sweet tooth and the sweet part of my taste buds just are way more active than, like, I can't stand sour things. I don't know. Everybody's different. You can leave it out if you don't want to have it in there. I'm going to toss some fresh basil on that after. I've got some fresh basil. I'm pointing over there because I'm going to be assembling the zucchini and all that over there. So I'm going to let this go for a little bit. Pause. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to work over there at my breakfast bar, and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hi, I am back. I moved the camera around and I'm over on my breakfast bar here, setting up the actual zucchini part of it. So I started slicing the zucchini. I don't know why I'm at a loss for words. I'm using my mandolin. Be very careful if you have one of these. If you have one of these, you probably already know to be careful. Comes with a guard, which I rarely use because it's always sliding off or whatever. But anyway, so zucchini is a very wet vegetable, and so you're going to want to get the water out of it before you start using it, stuffing it. Some people grill it first, and some people will bake it first. I do not. I don't see the need. But what you do need to do is get it out, so do it a little bit ahead and get it out on a paper towel. You see me? You can see me. And you're going to want to salt it. So the first couple of slices when you use a mandolin, sometimes you get a lot of the green and blah. Make a few more. Be very careful when you get near the end. I actually cut myself cleaning this thing last time I used it, so not fun. I've used 3 zucchini here, and obviously depending on how many people you're feeding, you might need more. All right. Wet hands. Okay, so I want to get some salt on these because the salt is going to draw out the liquid and help them to, sort of dry out a little bit. So I forgot my salt. I'll be right back. I always forget something. What's wrong with me? So you just want to lightly salt them, and just lightly. I mean, it's not going to hurt them. It's good. Just you want to season them anyway. So you want to season everything that you're cooking with, all your layers. And stupidly I layered them, so now I've got to try to salt the bottom. Trying to save room here. Anyway, that's going to help draw out some of the moisture while we're making up our ricotta mixture to go in there. I think I salted these enough. These guys. Okay. My sauce is finished. While you were away, I added a little more salt because I tasted it and it needed some more salt. Let me get rid of this thing. Get it out of the way. I don't need the dangerous tool anymore. So, the ricotta mixture. I like to stuff mine with spinach. Always trying to get some veggies in there. So I have a 10-ounce package of frozen spinach that I thawed, and I squeeze the water out of it. It's another very watery vegetable, and actually I squeezed it a lot, but I really feel like, excuse me for being out of the picture, I mean, you can get so much water, it's just crazy. So squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it until you can't squeeze it anymore. And you can use fresh, saute it a little bit. I suppose it would be okay if you just put it in there raw too. Just kind of break it up. All right, and we're going to get our ricotta in there. So you can use whatever. This is part skim. You can use whole milk. It's about a cup, but about a cup. That's more than a cup, but that's fine. Eyeball it. You may not use it all. You might need more. You can always make some more up. I'm going to put some Parmesan. This is, I cheated. This is not freshly grated, but so it's about 1/3 of a cup. I'm not measuring because I rarely do. I'm gonna eyeball it again. Can't have too much cheese, in my opinion, especially Parmesan cheese. All right, and some garlic. I minced up some garlic, so I'm throwing in a couple cloves of garlic. I'm throwing in some basil, fresh chopped, and I'm throwing in some shredded mozzarella. And I'm also going to put some on the top too. I have some fresh mozzarella too that's going to go on the top. So you kind of can't go wrong with this. I mean, it's all good stuff. Your ratios, as long as they're kind of proportionate, not like heavy on any one thing. And a little salt. The Parmesan is salty, so don't go too crazy with the salt. I would add pepper if it wasn't over there. But, you know, be prepared. So get that all mixed up. It's a lot of spinach. You could probably get away with a little less, but spinach is good. Hide some greenery. Well, you're not really hiding it because you can see it, but you know, hopefully your kids would eat it. I did make this for my grandkids and they ate it. They liked it. I don't think they knew what they were eating, but they liked it. So, sorry about the noise. Let's make some room here. So I said do this ahead, but I didn't really do it far enough ahead, but we're gonna wing it and we're gonna hope it works, and it will. It'll be fine. It might come up a little bit watery, but if you let it sit after it bakes, some of that water will, you know, soak up and it'll be fine. Spray your pan. This is a 9x13. It's my favorite pan. Does anyone have a favorite pan? I mean, you know you're an adult when you have a favorite pan, favorite spatula or whatever. So you probably can't see, but it's shiny. It's see how the water is coming out of it already. So keep some paper towels handy because you're gonna want to soak that up before you work with it. And if you were this entire thing, you can do exactly the same way with noodles. Doesn't have to be zucchini noodles. But like I said, always trying to get some veggies in there, particularly if you're trying to be low carb. I tried recently some chickpea pasta, which was really good, and it's got a ton of protein, and some red lentil pasta. I'm trying some different things. I like to do that sometimes. So let's see, how am I going to do this? So first thing you want to do is you want to get a layer of the sauce down on the bottom, just like you would a regular lasagna. Just to give something for the roll-ups to sit in. You could actually do this with eggplant too. That would be really good. Now we probably would want to grill that ahead. I have never tried that, but it sounds very yummy. I'm going to give this one more quick pat. I spilled. Of course I did. You try to be neat, but all right. So you're going to take your little guy here, and I'm always struggling with how much do I put on here, because I don't want to have too little, I don't want too much, and I don't want to run out at the end. But and I'm going to use my hands. Sorry, it's just so much easier. So kind of like a tablespoon-ish. Just roll it up. Okay. Always have to check and make sure that I'm on camera. That would be silly if I wasn't. And so I'm thinking I'm going to have plenty, but it can be a little conservative, and then, or you could do them all, put them all on there, and then roll them up after. That way you know you're going to have enough. So I'm laying them in the pan, seam side down, in rows like this. But you can stand them up if you want. So you could do it like this. You can stand them up like that. Either way. I just do it this way. I get more in the pan when I do it this way, I think. So I'm gonna roll it up And you're just going to keep going like that forever until they're done. So I probably should pause this so you don't have to watch me do every single solitary one of these, because it's going to take a little bit. I find I can get 4 across here, and I don't even know how many, but a lot. This is a good, well, it's a good family meal, and it's just the 2 of us, so there will definitely be leftovers, which are very welcome. You could actually do, if you had a ton of this and you got the whole bottom layer done, you could put another layer of sauce and some cheese and then put another layer on top. So you could really make this, really fill that pan up and feed tons of people. And you don't really taste the, I mean, zucchini doesn't have a strong taste anyway, so it's not like you're gonna taste like you're eating vegetables. It's just, you know, it's cheese and sauce, and it's absolutely delicious. All right, I'm gonna keep going with this, and I'm gonna come back after I get them all in the pan. All right, how's that sound? See you in a few. Hello, I finished. Got them all in there. I ended up with just a tiny bit left of some of the little scraps of zucchini, and check that out. So it's kind of funny, as you're going along, you're kind of trying to judge, do I have enough stuff? And they, you know, start filling them a little bit more. So some might have a little more, a little bit less. But like I said, you can put the, you know, whatever, a tablespoon or so on each one, and make sure you have enough, and then roll them up all at once, and that way you know. But I like to live dangerously, so I did it that way. And it came out fine. And I used 3, you know, medium, smallish zucchini. I bought 4, I didn't need to use that one, so it worked out fine. So I'm gonna throw some sauce on top of that. This pan is hot. Throw that on top. Not too much. I want to drown them, you don't want it to be all sauce. I've got my oven preheated 400, and they're going in there for 25 minutes-ish. You just want the cheese to be bubbly, and it doesn't take very long for the zucchini to cook. I'm going to spread that around. I don't want it to be too saucy. And you can put this over pasta. It'd be a great dish for company or just for your family. Yourself and your husband. Okay. Just like lasagna. If you were making lasagna and you were laying it out this way, if you were making it the traditional way, you would, you know, do your layers. So you would put your sauce, your noodles, and then your mixture, and then just keep layering it like that. And some cheese on the top at the end. I have some fresh mozzarella. I'm gonna put some, cheese. Break some of this up. And so that will be kind of an indicator of how you're doing with it being cooked. If the mozzarella is all melty and bubbly, you know, you're getting there. And when I'm all done, it comes out of the oven. I'm going to put some fresh basil on top of it. That's yummy. There, started out with big pieces, but any way you want to do it. And I can use shredded just from the bag, that's fine too. Whatever you like. I'm going to throw some more Parmesan on top of that. That's all going to get melty. So, alright, I'm going to pop this in the oven and then come back real quick just to show you what it looks like, and I'll see you in a few. Hello again. Took it out of the oven. It was in there for 25 minutes. I probably could have left it a little longer. I don't think you can really overcook it. I mean, if you left it in there for 45 minutes, it would be overcooked, but the zucchini looks cooked to me. I kind of dug my thing in there just to check on it, but 25 minutes is plenty. And it's a little bit watery. I probably would have paper toweled the zucchini a little bit more just to get some extra water out of it, but it'll be fine. I'm going to let it sit. I'm actually not going to eat it right now. And I'm just going to garnish it a little bit. I'm going to throw some more Parmesan cheese on it, because why not? And I'm going to throw some fresh basil on it. I'm going to do a little fancy chiffonade. If you don't know what a chiffonade is, we just kind of stack the leaves. Can't wait to grow basil. I try to grow it every summer. Went crazy last year. I did really, really well. Just kind of chop it. So just roll it up. You can see what I'm doing. Roll it up and just, can you see? No, you can't see. Just throw ribbons. Probably seen that done before. So you get these cute little ribbons, and then kind of just love fresh basil. It's just, the smell is just intoxicating. All right, and so I'm gonna show you, I wouldn't serve it on a plate this little, but just want to show you the nice thing about it being little separate things like that is, I'm gonna try to not make a mess. Probably gonna make a mess. Yeah. The first piece is always a mess. There you go. So you don't get that, you're not having to cut through the noodles. That looks good. I'm gonna eat that. I won't make you watch me. But I hope you try it. Try it with, oh, my timer. Alexa, stop. Took it out a couple minutes early. I cheated. Give it a try and check out my other videos on YouTube, Cumberland Public Library YouTube page and our Facebook page. Lots of stuff coming up. Summer reading program, kids stuff, adult stuff, teen stuff. And also, if you have anything you'd like to see me cook, email the reference department at the library, reference@cumberlandlibrary.org, and you can let me know what you think of the videos. Be nice. And if you have anything you'd like to see me cook, just drop us a line and let me know. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.